We continue with World Cup picks. We move to Norway versus England. We've got Martin Green, John Eimer, and Brad Thomas. Martin, we just heard from Buckets that maybe he is leaning towards Norway here. Of course, England favored. We look at the preview. This is Saturday, 5 Eastern in Miami Stadium. But, Buckets, I'm going to actually let you start here. I'm not going to start with Martin because I want Martin to hear your full explanation as to why you like Norway to qualify at plus 170.
The reason I like Norway to qualify at plus 170, other than the fact that it's a big plus number and that makes me happy, is Norway is a team that understands their play style and doesn't try to be something they're not. This is a team who has not kept a clean sheet in the entirety of the World Cup. Their back line is non-existent, but they get that and they adjust their play strategy because of that. They press for 90 minutes. They make life hell for their opponents. And we've seen both teams to score and over 2.5 goals hit in every one of their World Cup games because they're good at scoring goals. They've got Martin Odegaard. We love Odegaard, right, Martin? Yay, up the Gunners, right? We've got Erling Haaland. Nusa has been incredible. Even Bodo Glimt's captain, Patrick Berg, has really stepped up in a role and helped carry this team. This is Norway's team that nobody expected to have a deep run in this tournament. And now that they're there, I'm just back in the momentum at this point. They took Brazil out. I know Brazil's been trying to think of a nice word for this. Can't think of one. Brazil's been Brazil right now, so I know that doesn't say a whole lot, but I'm back in the momentum. I'm buying into the hype, and I'm buying that Norway's good enough to force an England team who's struggling defensively into a tricky 90 minutes here.
Martin, I suspect you're going to politely tell Buckets why he's wrong.
Well, I'm just trying to look at it objectively, player for player, coach for coach. England have Thomas Tuchel, a Champions League winning manager with experience at Chelsea, PSG, some of the biggest clubs in the world. Norway's manager was an absolute flop at Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Championship. They finished 18th. I think Norway have two good players. They have Haaland and they have Ødegaard. I'll take Haaland and I'll raise you Harry Kane. As an Arsenal fan, I love Ødegaard, but I'll take Ødegaard and I'll raise you Jude Bellingham. Or Morgan Rogers or Eberechi Eze or so many different players. And you just look across the squad. I mean, their best defender plays for Brentford. Their goalkeeper doesn't even have a coach. It doesn't even have a club. I think he was out of contract. He used to be the Bournemouth backup goalkeeper. He played for Reading quite recently. I'm sorry, I just think everyone's overhyping these Norway players just because they've got an amazing celebration where everyone goes, oh. But I know they beat Brazil. But apart from that, I don't really see what's so good about this team. I just think England should get the better of them. Norway very strong in attack, and I think they'll score. England have their problems. I think Mark Guehi's doubtful. Declan Rice has a bug. Reece James is 50-50. They're a bit banged up, but they have more quality in every other department apart from attack. And I think they're just as good as Norway in attack, and they have a better coach, and they have greater strength in depth. So for all of those reasons, I'm going for England, minus 112.
Harry Kane tied for the 5th most goals in World Cup history. Brad Thomas, break the tie here. Who are we taking? What's the bet?
The most incredible thing that Martin did, besides shoving the Norway players in a locker, is outside of the top two, Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, he named players who aren't regular starters on this England side. But that's just a testament to the depth and talent that is on this English team, right? It doesn't matter where you look, especially from the midfield to the attack. They have so many options, so many high-level players. And like he said, Thomas Tuchel is such a fantastic tournament manager where I think he gets the job done here. But I think England are going to win this in regulation. But I do believe Norway get on the score sheet, and this pays out England to win and both teams to score at plus 260. So Buckets already said this. Norway, both teams are scoring over 2.5 is hitting every game. England have been stout. I think their tougher test was against Mexico because they were playing Estadio Azteca. They were down one man, yes, playing with 10, and the Mexican team was playing with all this vigor, just firing shots at will against them, and they withstood and won the tie. I just feel like there's so much value on both teams scoring over 2.5. If you add an England money line, given all that talent, it just is a price that's so massive, I'm going to take it.
All right, pro move from you, Brad, because you just gave out the total play as well, which actually Martin agrees with. So we're going to go to our favorite total. And Brad, again, you like both teams to score plus over 2.5 goals, minus 115. Martin Green, you agree with Brad again?
Yeah, I really do. And I must say, despite my impassioned defense of England there, this is actually my favourite bet in the game. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Just expecting another open, entertaining game between two teams that look really dangerous in attack, but they both struggle to defend. As I think both of my esteemed colleagues mentioned, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals has paid off in all of Norway's games so far. That's just the trend you can't ignore. As we said, England are coming off that 3-2 win against Mexico. They're averaging 2.5 goals per game at this tournament, but they will struggle to keep a clean sheet against Erling Haaland. So, yeah, that bet just looks great to me.
Buckets taking umbrage with Martin saying that you're not objective. At least that's what I heard. And you're actually going to double down with your favorite total bet. What is it?
Well, we all agree that both teams to score is a good bet here, so we all expect Norway to get at least one goal. I don't think it's a giant step to say Norway is capable of scoring 2 goals. Norway over 1.5 team total. We're getting it at plus 200. Not only has both teams to score in over 2.5 hit in every one of Norway's games so far, but Norway have scored 2 or more in every one of their games so far, including 2 goals in the second half against Brazil, where they only needed like 2% possession to get that done. I know they had more than that, I'm kidding, but it's Haaland. He can turn nothing into something. You give him 4 touches in a game, he'll find 4 goals. And again, I don't trust England's back line, this team that scraped past Mexico, albeit at Azteca. First time Mexico's ever lost at Azteca in a World Cup. That is the first time that's ever happened, but they didn't look great against DR Congo either. I'm backing Norway. 2 goals at big plus money here.
All right, real quick, let's go over a couple betting options in this game, and we'll get maybe like one-sentence answers here. Brad, I think for Haaland and Kane to score, I think it's paying plus 325. Is that something that you think is bettable?
Yeah, it's something that I think is bettable, and I'll talk about this in depth on another CBS show later. But they're 2 of the best strikers in the world going toe to toe. Good players score at this tournament. Why not?
Buckets, your thoughts? Plus 325.
Yeah, just keep betting the chalky goal scorers every game, and apparently it's a cheat code to winning money. You bet Messi, you bet Haaland, you bet Mbappe. They just keep scoring, so I don't know why you'd do anything different.
Martin Green, your thoughts?
Copy and paste everything John just said. Haaland, Mbappe, Messi, Kane keep scoring in every game, and we keep getting good odds on them to find the back of the net.
Yeah.
Don't stop now.
Well, I was going to ask you, and maybe I still will, favorite Norway versus England bet, and it just implicates everything we just discussed. So maybe we don't need explanation here. Give me your favorite, Martin, I'm going to start with you. Give me your favorite play in this Norway-England game.
England to win and both teams to score, plus 260.
John Eimer.
Erling Haaland to score, plus 120.
Brad Thomas.
Harry Kane to score, plus 115.
I like how we put a bow on that. All right.